Hey YouTube, this video is regarding an amp and what you should be looking for if you are kind of semi-professional, not a beginner, by no means a professional, and what you should be really hunting down, how to do it. So the first amp I really owned was a Marshall MG30 DFX, digital effects, that's what that stands for. 30 watt amp. You can plug it into the computer and record some stuff on like some cheap software, or if you have good software you can still plug it in without having the need to buy a digital audio converter or interface of any kind or microphone of any kind. And it worked really well, and I was able to get a great distortion sound at the time, and I was able to get a great clean sound and everything. That worked quite well for me, simply because you could go through many different tones and have a lot of dynamics in terms of effects and stuff, and it was a reasonably priced amp at the time. It was quite popular actually when it just came out. But that was for me. I liked playing metal and metallic and stuff like that, but there was, you know, it's not very much definition in it in terms of the distortion tone I later learned, and etc, etc. It just like I grew out of it eventually. But this is about you guys finding an amp like that. You should probably look for something that's going to help you teach yourself how to play the guitar a little bit better, in terms of like, if you have some effects on there built in, you don't need to spend the extra $200, $300 on that one shiny, cool looking delay that maybe you will buy one day, but right now you don't really need it. You should look for an amp that is aesthetically pleasing, of course, to yourself, and decide whether or not you're going to be rehearsing with it, or if you're going to be the bedroom practice time with it, right? I know that I've seen a video, I think at least, of Carl Sander from Nile, Sander from Nile, using a Marshall 50 watt just in his home, jamming out. I think he was doing a breakdown to a solo. It's on his YouTube page. And that's something that is obviously a great home use amp, because it's like, you don't need it to be extremely powerful, you don't need it to be too loud, and you can get a pretty reasonable tone out of it with effects and with the ability to be a little bit emotional with it. Like, I know if I play with some reverb, I can dig in a little bit more, interestingly, at least for me. So that's another layer of it, right? Like, it's supposed to kind of help you teach yourself, because what, you know, you need to be able to make the crappy amp sound good, so that when you get the good amp you sound good, you know what I mean? That's how people are able to sell these things. They get some really great guitar player to play some, like, usually beginner to amateur amp, which is by no means the best parts or best quality, but it gets the job done, and they make it sound like $2,000, and that's what the goal is, really. And I had a Randall G2 series 100 watt 2x12 combo, and I eventually wore it out, and I turned it into a cabinet by just removing the head, and it's like, it's old, the speakers are old and need to be changed, or just it needs to be thrown out, but I made that amp sound good. There are a bunch of recordings I did with it, and they do sound good. It is simply because I was practicing as much as I could to get my fingers to have enough control to make the amp sound more than it was actually, you know, in terms of the dollar value. So you'll know when you outgrow your piece of gear, and you'll know when you outgrow the guitar and everything like that. Just make the right decision and take your time. Usually spending about an hour with an amplifier at a store. If people get upset with you, tell them that you are interested in buying it, and don't feel pressured to buy it at that one moment. Tell them that you're interested in it and that you just would like some time with it, and you know, they can't really do much other than that. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit carried away. What I'm trying to say is, take your time. Don't make anyone force you to put an investment into something that you might not like, because it's going to stick with you. And I've done that a couple of times, and it was with guitars that were more than a little bit expensive, and I've definitely felt that pinch in the wallet and in my personal feelings of guilt about getting a guitar that I ended up not liking for so much money. Anyway, basically do the right thing. Pick the right amp. For blues and stuff, pretty obvious, you should probably go with something like Marshall or Fender. For someone who likes a good clean tone or a very versatile amp, you know, Roland is pretty good. The Cubes, I've seen and heard great things from them. I know Orange has a Tiny Terror, but that is a little bit more on the higher end in terms of price, and that's a pretty reliable amp. The Dual Terror being the next step up from that. And the Orange line is quite delicious. I seem to remember playing it once or twice and thinking, yeah, this has got enough ferocity. But with those amps, you need to really know how to EQ. So I don't know. It's a little bit of a trade-off. You get a really great sounding amp, but you have to really know how to tone it and how to EQ your guitar to it. So that's an entire video all on its own. I hope you enjoyed this quick little 5-minute discussion, and I hope that it helped. Cheers, don't forget to subscribe and eat marshmallows because they're fun. Chubby bunny.